Today we're going to pretend that this GM 6-cut lock cylinder is in a column, and all we want to do is maybe check out to see whether or not the engine will start. Now these are the older vehicles, so sometimes when you're doing cars at auctions and places that sell older cars for fairly inexpensive amounts of money, people are buying them for various things. They want parts, they want the engine, they want to know this or that, and so it may not be as cost effective to pull a steering column, or excuse me, a steering wheel, and go in and remove a lock cylinder and go through all of that route just to see whether or not the engine runs. So when you're out there in the field and you run into situations where you need to turn the ignition on, we're going to look at how you can do that. These locks use a sidebar, and even if you were looking at a Ford type ignition, you can see the difference in the distance from center of the keyway or the keyhole to the left side here versus the distance from center keyway here to the right side. So your sidebar, which holds this lock in place and keeps it from being able to turn, is going to be located over and around in this area right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill that sidebar out. So if this car was in, if this ignition was in a car, we'd be able to rotate it and either check mileage or see if the car will start, if the engine's good, or what have you. So let's do that now. I'm going to chuck it up in the vise behind the lock here, and let's go for it. Now before I chuck it up, I got to show you, this is where the bolt would be, the retainer inside of the column. The reason why you got to take that steering wheel off, and the turn signals, and the pressure plate, and the spring, and go through all of that, and you charge for that, and sometimes it costs more than a car. So that would normally be down. So when we put this in the vise, we're going to make sure it's in the position that it would be in the car. A couple pointers here. Now this portion of the bezel here, you see how where this thumb turn here is, and you have a little corner right there? Well, you can use that to determine what your arc is going to be, the inside arc where you're actually going to drill. You don't want to drill way out here on the edge. You want to drill just in where you're going to get on the inside of the skin of the cylinder here, and be able to go straight on down into that sidebar and pull out and then spin it. So we're gonna come inside this arc here, and we're gonna put a hole about right there. We're gonna use some real good drill bits so we can drill through this thing here and rock and roll. Let's do it. So I put my punch mark here where I'm going to drill. I'll give you a little better shot of that if I can. And now we're going to put our hole there. Hopefully we got it in the right spot. We're doing this just like you'd be doing it on the job, meaning you don't have any samples, examples, or anything like that. You need to know where that sidebar is so you can go ahead and drill it and turn your lock and get on with the next job. So we're going to use a 5/32 inch drill bit here and go ahead and rock and roll, get this thing drilled out. There we have it. Let's see how we did. Woo-hoo. Just like that, baby. Just like that. Okay? That's how it works. So you can see that. That's fairly simple, but that's the way that works. So now you can, you don't have to you don't have to worry about taking that ignition out. Now these are older cars. Okay, bear in mind this is a thing here that you're, as a mechanic or a locksmith's, doing just to make sure that you can go ahead and get this job done, which your customer just wants to start the engine. And so I'm sure you've done this on Fords and other types of vehicles just to start the engine for your customer. So this is a quick and easy way to do it without having to remove that ignition, remove the steering wheel and all of that. Okay, so there you have it.